Okay, Candace, I've gone through your email list and adjusted the cabinets accordingly. I have that list in front of me, and I'll just go through your questions and answer them with this video. So the first thing, as far as size, of course I have all the colors for the lowers and uppers. The first thing on this list, I have the picture, of course, that you sent with the hood. So, I mean, that's fine if we make this hood touch the cabinet sides. And if you don't like the idea of it being pulled off a little bit, these applied panels here, I would just make them a slab style instead of putting an inset panel like they are actually shown here. And that hood, as shown in that picture, would protrude out, of course, past these cabinets a bit, and it can touch the sides of those cabinets. We'd still have these applied panels on the sides, but they just wouldn't have the paneling, the inset panel. They'd just be a solid slab. The next thing on your list, as far as the probably this drawer here, we would do. Okay, Candace, I have your email list in front of me to answer all of your questions. The first one on there in regards to what I can answer on this presentation in the master bathroom, we can do the cabinet attached to the walls. Well, it'll be touching the walls. It'll only be attached to the back wall. And really, this is just to, I guess, appease the tile guy as far as making this wall a part of the cabinet for structural. I know you wanted the granite to touch all three walls, so that will work this way. The reason I was wanting to have the legs away from the walls just to give it a standalone furniture look. I thought that was what you were going for. If not, that's fine. I mean, it'll still look good doing it this way. I've done it before, as I mentioned. So, and this is, of course, to scale. Never mind these fillers or these legs being up higher. I can't get those to come down any. But these are 2 inches wide, and I think that's pretty proportional and looks good with the rest of the size here. Your sink will fit in this cabinet, and we can put legs in the back. This will be about 1 foot off the ground, so a leg will be in the back here. And then if you wanted a chamfered leg on the bottom here, we can do that as well. There's just a little bit of limitation to this cabinet program, and it's just not done as far as the cabinets being structural or reinforcing a wall. That's just not the way things are done. It could, but if there happens to be a stud, a 2x4 in the wall, I can run a really long screw through the side of the cabinet into the wall to help tighten that up a little bit. So here is the master linen, master sink. The next question you had was in the kitchen, and as far as a 2-tier drawer, if we put that 2-tier drawer here, or what would be a good utensil drawer, or here, it doesn't matter. And yes, we can do a 2-tier drawer. Those range from maybe $25 or $30 up to $200. So, I mean, they're easy enough to install. To put those in, of course, you open the door and then the top of it rolls back to access more space underneath there. The dimensions for the olive oil bottle, if there's one that you buy all the time, let me get those. But we can make it adjustable or just build the spice rollout to fit and accommodate that size. They're just these spice rollouts, when the shelves are all built and attached, they're just a little bit stronger than having adjustable shelves. Those shelves act as a structural part. The spice, or not the spice rollout, the Lazy Susan, right now it's just quoted with the shelf in here. We can do a Lazy Susan, which would be about $120, or we do what's called a blind corner unit optimizer. So that would need a drawer here. So right now this is a bifold door. These two doors are attached. So if we do the blind corner unit optimizer, which is about $480, this would be one drawer. These bank of drawers would go away. And then this bank of drawers would be widened a bit. And the door would open, the hinges would be on this side. And let's look at it in elevation view, or plan view. So this is our cabinet here. So that unit pulls straight out, and then slides to the right. And then this back unit can pull out. So you can have pots and pans in this back rack here and pull it all the way out to here. They're pretty slick, but there's a lot of mechanisms to it, hence the cost. So that's one option if you want to do that. The hood, we of course can attach that to these cabinets if you're a little weary of it being pulled off. I would, right now, this is an Artesia applied panel on the side. So if they're going to touch, if the hood is going to touch, it would just be a blank slab. And of course that hood would protrude out, and it would just be done similar to that photo you showed me. So we could just plan on attaching that to the sides. I'm not going to try to force it on you. That was just my 2 cents, but if you don't like it, that's fine. Whoops. Oh, dang it. Here, let me hide this wall so we can look at it. Okay. You mentioned this panel or these doors opening up, which is doable and not that much to do it. That little arm, that little support arm is only about $15 and a few bucks to install that. The only hesitation with that is when you flip this up, it's going to be so high, I don't know how you're going to reach it. If it were me, my kitchen, I'd just leave them as doors. I know you have a really deep refrigerator, but if we open this up, I mean, it's going to be pretty much flat with the ceiling and about 4 inches down, 4 or 5 inches down from the ceiling. So it's going to be pretty tall to reach and grab and pull back down. As far as the applied panels or the sides of the island going all the way to the ground, that too is doable. So right now these applied panels are only 13/16 thick. See if we can make it clear enough. I mean, it's essentially the thickness of a door. So we can make those come to the ground, but they look really skinny. So typically what's done is those are widened a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 inches wide. We would lose a little bit of cabinet space, but it just gives it a little bit more structure and makes it look a little bit more substantial going all the way to the floor. So this panel right here, just imagine that 3 or 4 inches thick, which would take space out of these cabinets here, and it would go to the floor. And then that would be the same on this side. So we would lose, say, 8 inches out of this cabinet here, or we just grow this island a little bit into this space here. Right now we've got these pretty much lined up, but if we could keep the same width here, but just make the overall width of the island bigger to accommodate the thicker panels, if that makes sense. Or if you don't mind those being that thin going to the floor, it just looks better if they're a little thicker, that's all. And if we made them thick like that, that would possibly give us some space to put those electrical sockets in the end like that in the picture you had shown me, but it does not look bad just to put them in the middle of the panel here as well. They're just a little bit more hidden on that side if we put them on this side versus right in the end of that panel. Okay, let me open up or look at your email again for the next list. Of course, I've got all the colors for everything in there. Thank you. That's great. The guest bath. Okay, let's jump to that. So if you want that centered, this is as tight as we can get. Oops. That sink is 19.5. The inside of this cabinet's 20.5, which is fine. It'll fit. So these banks of drawers, 7 inches, the inside opening of that cabinet, and 6.25. So, for example, the drawers on this side will be 5 inches wide. The drawers on this side will be 5 3/4 wide. We only have 36 inches to work with. We have to stay 15 inches off center of the toilet. They're skinny, but it'll work if you want that centered up. Next question. I'm just reading through your email here. The laundry room, you changed washer and dryer. That's fine. That didn't affect anything here. Those still work. 27 wide, that's good. I've adjusted this, just one rod in the middle here. Makes it look a little bit cleaner. And the shallow top drawers in the laundry and kitchen have flat fronts, yes. These can be slab instead of that Artesia style. On the top drawers, that's not out of the ordinary to do that. And typically we only do those on drawers. Let's go back to the elevation view. So these drawers are 6 3/16 tall. So just these top drawers that are 6 3/16 tall, we will make slab. So on the pantry here, this drawer is 7 7/16. And with another door right above it, I would just leave this Artesia, this whole thing. You can get away with it on this side because we have a break in between the cabinets. So this top drawer is slab, and then there's a break, and then there's Artesia again. That looks good, that's fine, I've done that before. But over here, since it's one continuous run, it's going to look cleaner just to keep these all Artesia. And then this top drawer is not 6 3/16, it's 7 7, so it's a little bit bigger. In the kitchen, that will work to keep these top drawers all slab across here. That looks good, that's fine. And no, I won't forget that. Full extension for the big lower pantry and kitchen drawers, just these lower drawers here, full extension. Yeah, that's a good idea. These only add about $15 or $20 per drawer for that full extension. Just a little easier to get to. That's doable for just the lowers, and same thing in the pantry. And then the bottom 2 for the pantry. Laundry. Yeah, so these bottom 2 would be full extension. And some pictures you found, I'm just reading through that now. Okay, the island, I've answered that question. The outlets, I answered that as far as blending into the island. I mean, we can get the outlets and outlet covers and have some spray paint made, or even spray those with conversion varnish so they're the same color, or just get black sockets that will help blend in. The wood laundry baskets, okay, I'll look into that. Okay, I think that answers all of the questions as far as that you gave me as far as the cabinet design. So if that's all good with you, those aren't there isn't anything drastic there as far as